what I'll do is I will start a recap while we wait for him. That way, Bandy sort of gets caught up, although we're going to go back in time a little bit in the beginning. So at the last session, you had arrived at Siesta 3, and Max and Harm went aboard the station while Oni stayed back. And because he felt he was going to put people in danger, because even though he was in this incubation period, he knows he's still infected by Dr. Rizal's bioweapon. So Max and Harm went on the ship, went on Siesta 3, and they had just exited bio check, and the Black Ops commander, whom had taken Dr. Rizal's bioweapon in trade for fuel, had a conversation with them that, it's best to stay out of strangers' business and we'll go our separate ways. So Max and Harm decided they would go to Dr. Addis's hydro hut. They were really kind of searching to see if they can find some help for Oni. And they met Dr. Addis, a somewhat disheveled, poor fashion sense botanist, biologist, doctor, who knows what. And his hydro hut's like this growth chamber with a multicolored hammock hanging from the ceiling, and vats and hydroponics everywhere, and he grows his own hooch. And they meet Dr. Addis and come to an agreement over smoke that Dr. Addis may be able to help Oni in some fashion. At the same time, we met Basilio, or Bass, who was born on Siesta 3 and is a teamster. And he's down in the distillery, which is in the lower level of Siesta 3, drinking as he usually does when Sura, the third in command or so of the teamsters, a short, stocky, buzz-cut female with a gruff attitude, settles down next to him and starts drinking some cleaner, which is this high-proof alcohol, sometimes used as a degreaser. And Basilio, being the man he is, Suru enlisted him to help her fix the bomb because she's been tinkering with the virus bomb. The virus bomb is Green Stars had put the virus bomb in there in case they ever lost control of the station. They could just set it off and genetically wipe it clean, come in and clean out the refuse or the bodies, and then restock it with new workers. Siesta 3 is a anarchist haven for poets, teamsters, hackers, and revolutionaries. And although Green Star knows, or there's paperwork that Siesta 3 has been taken over, it's just working its way up the corporate mailbox, and it may take some time. But Sura was messing around with the virus bomb, and now it's losing pressure. And she enlists Basilio to try to help fix it. They go to Black Sky, who's a resident hacker, because they want to find a blueprint of the valve in order to try to fix the valve. At the same time, Max and Harm, Max decides he's going to go back to check out the church and perhaps go talk to Oni after meeting Dr. Addis, who's a relatively thin, poor fashion sense. He's balding on the top, and he's got these long hair on all sides that he's grown really long. And Max goes towards the church. At the same time, Dr. Addis works on Harm's shoulder, and Max hears gunshots from the other side of the airlock leading back to the Praxis bar, which is the bar right in the dockside before you join the main station. He decides to investigate just as the airlock opens up, and he foolishly tries to run and gets shot. And then he plays dead and says, "Systems shutting down," and the Black Ops operators leave him on the floor. They proceed to Rowan Genizdat, which is the bar on the main section, run by a woman named Quandra. And Harm is with Dr. Addis when they hear gunshots. Dr. Addis outfits Harm with a seeker rifle, and he pulls two weapons of his own, and he goes slinking down towards the bar. Basilio and Sura are in Black Sky's den, which is right next to the Rowan Genizdat bar, and Black Sky's one of his favorite friends is Quandra, and he hears the gunshots. He outfits Basilio with a shotgun while Sura goes to get help with Teamsters, and they go through the back way into the bar. Eventually what happens is that Max, Harm, Basilio corral these black ops that are trying to take Quandra or back to the core system. And it comes down to the point where Max realizes, or Harm realizes, that the colonel or the commander of the Black Ops mercenary group who's trying to kidnap Quandra to take her back doesn't really want to hurt Quandra, even though he feigns that he will do it. And the standoff is ended when the commander realizes he's got no play to make. He turns over Quandra and he proceeds out of the station. At the very end, Max had joined the group just before they entered, and he's bleeding out of one leg, his milky kind of blood. And Dr. Addis reaches into his pocket, pulls out like 3 multicolored pills and offers him. And Max takes one, and it promptly makes him unconscious or shut down his systems. And Dr. Addis is, oops, maybe he took the wrong one. Maybe he should have took the red one instead of the blue pill. And we ended it there. Basilio and Harm, do you have any additions?
No.
No?
I think that's good. I think Basilio tried to like get more information from Quandra, but she didn't divulge at the time.
Yeah. You know that she's a core world runaway, and she makes a quip about sometimes you can't escape from family. The word has this double meaning of family in the genetic sense and family in the kind of mafia sense, that she's run away from that core world and they want her back for whatever reasons, but they don't want her dead. And Basilio and kind of learns that before the party breaks out, that the Siesta 3 have vanquished this group trying to take Quandra. Most everyone thinks they're corporate, and Quandra kind of lets them believe that, and there's nothing better for Siesta 3 citizens than to get one over on a corporation. Quandra and maybe Basilio gets hinted at that they're not quite corporation if they look like they're decked out in it, because they're really decked out. They're high speed, all wearing the same black armor with visored helmets, except for the commander. Any other additions? Harm, you have anything to add? You might be locked up. What we're do is we're going to go skip back in time a little bit. Return to Oni. Before Max and Harm have separated, and before the group fends off the commander and his Black Ops mercenaries trying to take Quandra, and we kind of fade back into, you see these 6, 7, 8 helmeted Black Ops running down one side of the dockside, and Oni sees them and exits the ship in his own HAB suit, environmental suit, and tracks him down. He goes in the right airlock door leading into the Praxis bar, and he hears gunshots and thinks, maybe this is not the best door. He backtracks and goes to the left door, listens a bit, and thinks, maybe it's safe. Maybe this is far enough away. I'm going in a different section. He has no idea, really. He enters the airlocks. They're essentially side-by-side airlocks, and he enters the Praxis bar in his environmental suit, and immediately one of those Black Ops mercenaries, completely kitted out, helmet with a mirrored visor, points their weapon at Oni as he comes through the airlock and says, "On your knees, drop your weapons." Oni's holding a triangular flash grenade. I believe he drops it, correct?
Yes, yeah. He had it in his hand, and I think the pin was pulled. As he raised his hands, he's got it in his hand. So when he says, do you want me to drop this?"
So
this is
does he? The pin is out, and he's holding the grenade, and the Black Ops mercenary is looking at you, and you hear this squawk. Their voice sounds modulated and pitched mechanically, so you can't really tell male, female. It just sounds robotic because it's being changed, so you can't really hear the voice, or nothing can hear the voice. No recording could ever voice track them. And it looks at you, male, female, you can't really tell, and it says, "Sir, put the pin in. Do you know how to do that?" And then you hear this like command, "Flash grenade up, visors," and you see his visor go completely black.
Oh, so it's not going to work.
No, you're holding the grenade. You got about 5 seconds.
So, a lifetime can happen in 5 seconds. What is the layout here? So there's only one of them? Only one. One's enough.
There's 8.
8.
You come into the Praxis bar. I'll show you a picture of it during its period when it doesn't have patrons and people laying on the floor. You briefly look past and see people laying in a line, heads down. There's blood splattered on the floor. Chairs have been moved around. A table has been kicked over. The lights on the bar are flickering. There's 8 black-clad visors. About 3 or 4 are now pointing towards you. The other 3 kind of have their weapons down. They're giving orders to the people that they have down. There's a couple others that are laying against the wall. And that's what you see in those 5 seconds. Oni, I would probably have you make a, intellect check to get that pin in.
And there's nothing I'm going to get to add to it. Okay. So, just normal then.
Yeah, just critical failure. I think you have the flash grenade. It's triangular. You pulled the pin out. You have no idea how you did that. You're trying to figure out how it goes back in, and you're looking at it really intensely, and then it goes now.
Critical. It blows up in my hand.
Right. The flash grenade hits your retina, and most people think a flash grenade would just be this bright, piercing white light, but it's this kaleidoscope of colors, deep, burnt colors, like you get stabbed by knives in both your eyes, and you go completely blind and fall down to your knees because you can't see anything, not even halos. It's just this searing pain. You feel a hand grab behind you and pull the mechanism of your helmet, and it's roughly taken off. And then someone grabs the back of your hab suit, the ring that your helmet sits on, grabs it and drags you over on the ground. And you're so discombobulated that you just get dragged over and dumped down. You're laying on your side. It feels wet and sticky. Your vision just slowly comes back into view, and you realize you're laying on the ground, chest down. There's blood around you, and you see this young woman with kind of auburn brown hair get up to her knees and says, Sir, are you okay? You okay? And then one of the guards says, "Shut up, get back down." And she goes, "Hell no. You can take the gab out of the girl, but not the girl out of the gab." And then she kind of lowers herself down, and your vision's coming back. She goes, "Hi, I'm Lila. I'm one of the waitresses. I'd ask you what you want to eat, but, well, right now seems like waiting tables for non-payers or tippers. What's your name?"
Hello, Lila. Is that halo always about you?
Well, some people think I'm angelic. And I am, so long as, I get a good tip and you keep your hands to yourself. You wouldn't happen to be handsy, would you?
No.
What's your name and what do you do? Well, I'm a waitress, and I'd ask you what you want, but, well, I wouldn't get the burgers. Trust me. Might find things.
No burger, no burger. My name is Oni. I'm a pilgrim. What has happened here?
Not quite certain. These black-clad things have taken over the bar, and I don't know what they're planning. They're probably corporation geeks. Damn it. Siesta 3, this is our place. What kind of pilgrim are you? What do you know how to do? I'm a waitress. I've been a waitress now for, I don't know, 2-3 years.
What did you do before?
Well, I was a kid. I didn't do much of anything.
Oh, well, I can't see you right now, so I...
She like scoots closer to you, like close enough, almost like nose to nose. It says, well, just squint a little bit. I heard it helped.
Okay, I'll try. My eyes are already squinty.
Well, what kind of things do you do, Oni, as a pilgrim? Do you have special training as a pilgrim, or you always been a pilgrim?
For the most part, my order has been fought against and suppressed in my homeworld, and we seek another place to live.
Are you kind of like us fighting against the corporation?
I suppose so. Yes,
well,
I would be on your side with regard to things like that.
She kind of gets her voice really low, and she goes, so you're a mercenary?
A mercenary of philosophy, yes.
Philosophy? That's a pretty big word. Well, what did you do for your mercenaries with philosophy? I don't think that would really fix them up when they're bleeding.
I may help with that, but I don't know if we're allowed to move, are we?
What do you mean you might help with it? Because well,
I
Errol over there and Flynn, they're in bad shape. Look at them. And you look over at the wall. There's these two dudes like laying up against the wall across the bar. You know how to fix them?
I could try if they let
me. Hey! She gets up on her knees. Hey! We're going over there to help Errol and Flynn. And you see the guys doing it. Look! You can't let him die. It's bad for business. And you see the black clads look at each other. They kind of go, shrug. One of them motions with his thing. She goes, okay. She threads her arm around, and, there's blood all over the place, up and down. And she kind of, let's go check out Errol. Maybe we could save their lives. Come on. And you kind of crawl over on your hands and knees over to Errol's this big dude. He's got this huge giant beard. There's blood all over the place. And she like brushes his face, says, Errol, come on. Wake up, Errol. Wake up. His eyes flutter a little bit. He's got blood everywhere. You see like a shot right through his right upper chest, Oni. And Lila goes, well, Oni, you think we can do something for him? She starts tearing the bottom hem around her dress off.
Lila?
Yes.
Put your hand over that chest wound. We don't want it to be.
She like rips open his shirt. You can hear it go.
Yeah. Put your hand over it right now until we can find something to cover that up. And I'll look for some plastic bag or something, or to so that no more air gets. We don't want his lung to collapse. So
okay. She's got her hand. And she goes, it feels funny. There's a little vibration coming. Like I can't get all the air out. And you find this little bit of plastic, like, those napkins you get that are just not really like paper. They're mostly plastic, and they just move stuff around. That's the kind of napkins that the Praxis bar has on it.
We'll slap that on there. Lila, do you have some kind of a med kit about that you could go get, and I'll see what I can do. I'll roll some dice and see whether I can heal these people.
I don't think so. We don't have one behind the bar. They're not going to let me go back there. We got weapons, and they've taken all of them. But maybe we could just use my headband. You can put it around it and keep it on there.
I'll see what I can do with some of my field medicine training.
Oni, make a flat roll with no.
So I just click on field medicine for that, or
you click on intellect and then use field medicine as the.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Ooh.
Like one away, right?
Oh no, you got a 17. You thought you got a 71.
Oh. Yeah, that's.
You got a 17. So you put that like plastic napkin on it, and batten down 3 sides so the bottom can flap and let the air out, so he doesn't get a tension pneumothorax, and his eyes flutter, and Lila brushes his way and she kisses him. Just one time, Errol, one time. No more kisses. Keep your hands to yourself. You just breathe easy. And she looks over at Oni. She goes, okay, maybe we can go help Flynn.
Okay,
but
Flynn next.
Make sure, we keep him. I don't necessarily want to kiss him. He eats too much fish.
Well, pseudo fish, I'm sure.
You crawl over there too with her. Lila crawls over and loops her arm and crawl over, and Oni, look at Flynn. He's this kind of sallow, got short blonde hair. His eyes are closed. He's got a bullet wound in his right upper quadrant and his left upper quadrant, and right through the center, about 3 fingers above his belly button. And he's just sitting in there. There's just blood everywhere. Lila goes, Oni, he looks pretty bad. What should we do?
I'll see what I can do as well, but he will need better treatment than I can provide here.
Well, Dr. Addis has a surgical suite. Maybe if we can stabilize him and he survives.
Yes. I'll try to stabilize him.
Okay. Oni, this is a really hard roll. He's got a shot through his liver and a shot through his spleen, and
one in his bowel.
Yeah, it probably is close to or nicked his descending aorta. He looks pale and terrible, and you feel his pulse, and it's just really, really slow.
Thready.
Right. You're gonna have to make a field medicine check at disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean, if it's nicked his aorta, there's no coming back from that.
You're not certain. It can bounce around. Oh, look at that.
He's a miracle worker.
These rolls.
Right.
Slow down. We're not going to have any good rolls later.
I was just going to say, when do I need them? I'm saving the NPCs, though.
She's like, Lila's feeling his pulse, and she looks at you, and she goes, it feels better. It feels better. What? You think he might make it?
If we can get him to the surgery, yes.
And then you hear a shout, back to the line. It looks like you're done over there.
Did you mean to kill this man?
Well, he stepped in front of the line of fire. We were just firing around. Don't ask any questions. Back on your belly.
Do you want this man dead?
Do you want to be dead? I'm done talking. It's all metallic too. Like it's just robotic voice coming out of the speaker. Like, move, move, move. And Lila pushes you. Go on, Oni.
Well, we have him stabilized, so let's see how this situation progresses. So we'll sort of put my hands up and my blood-covered hands, I'm sure, at this point.
Crawl back to your position.
For now.
You crawl back to your position. You're about halfway back, Oni, and you realize Lila isn't with you anymore.
What is the robotic Black Ops person doing?
He's just watching you. And you hear, what's wrong with her?
She's looking after her husband.
Yeah, you look back, Oni, and she's like halfway between you and Flynn. Flat out. She's on her side. And her eyes are closed. She kind of weakly looks up at you and makes this shrug and this little smile on her face.
Oh my goodness, she's passed out. I must look at her. Look to help her. Maybe she's in some kind of shock.
I'll make it quick.
Okay, so I'll go over and I'll see if she needs CPR or some kind of...
You get over there, Oni, you're doing this kind of low shuffle crawl, and she reaches out weakly and kind of grabs your forearm. I'm sorry, Oni.
Are you shot too? I mean, I'll look now. Is she?
I don't know. But my legs feel funny.
Oh, does she have a wound on her?
You log roll her over to her side a little bit, and you see there's a gunshot right above her.
Oh,
right posterior iliac crest. You don't really see an exit wound. It probably bounced around in her pelvis over there, and you hear her voice says, What do you see, Oni? Am I gonna die?
Not if I can help it.
Her eyes kind of closed, and she
go 3 for 3.
Yeah, let's see what I can do here.
Oni, you have to make a field medicine roll at disadvantage.
Again?
Yep. You know, Lila's been shot in the back, just above her, probably lateral to her sacroiliac joint. It's probably bounced around in there all over the place.
She's the best NPC so far. Okay, disadvantage. Here I go. What about surgery as well? I mean, I guess I don't have a surgery.
Yeah, you're not.
Okay.
You know, there's a surgical suite, but you don't.
Yeah.
You can't actually perform surgery.
Okay. Well, Oni will say a little prayer to his mystic philosophy. I can't even remember the character so much anymore. It's been a while. Disadvantage. Here it goes. No.
There's nothing for you to do, Oni. You realize the bullet's somewhere in her pelvis. There's no exit wound. There's just this little bit of blood that seeps out every now and then. She's breathing maybe 6-7 times a minute, really slow. She's really pale, and her eyes flutter open. And then you feel a tap on your shoulder, and one of the mercenaries is tapping their weapon on you. And you hear that metallic voice say, "What's going on here?"
She's dying unless I can get her to the surgery suite. And she's young, and she has a whole life ahead of her.
So Oni,
I stand up and I pick her up, and I'm going to take her there.
He like puts you back down. You're gonna screw this all the fuck up. Back down. And you can see yourself in the helmet. Like, back down. And then you see it touch a little thing on the side, and then you hear this woman's voice. "What do you mean Lila's gonna die? Back down your knees. Don't be stupid. Hell, I almost got this under control."
I apologize. What was the doctor's name that Lila told me?
Dr. Addis.
Dr. Addis. Take me to Dr. Addis's.
Not now.
She's going to die.
I understand that. You're gonna have to wait. I can't help Quandra and Lila at the same time. She looks over. You hear this woman. It's a woman's voice. She kind of looks over her shoulder now. "Look, those 6 over there by the airlock. They're gonna go in. You give them 10 minutes, and then you'll know when to move. You just can't move yet." And then you hear a loud voice from the other side. "What's going on there?" She flicks on. "Nothing. Nothing's going on." You hear the metallic voice as she flicks about. "Now look, take Lila down and just do what you can. Damn it to hell. This is all going to shit."
Yes, it is.
She pops this little button, and you hear this metallic voice. "Stay there. Tend to the woman." And she moves, and the figure moves away from you a little bit.
In my estimation, does Lila have 10 minutes?
Probably.
Okay.
Is Oni thinking anything else when this happens? Weirdly, oddly.
What do Errol or Flynn have on them?
So they were just wearing clothes. They were probably there eating and drinking.
Okay.
They look like they're crew members from another, or they were from Siesta 3. Obviously, Lila knew them by name and felt had known them for a while. So they're probably Siesta 3 citizens.
So other dead bodies are about?
No. Everyone else is in a line, like this was a mistake.
But they shot at somebody.
Sure, you don't know how they got wounded.
I think at this point, patience is a virtue.
Okay. Kind of fades out. Oni, you're there with Lila. She looks up at you and goes, "If I die, don't kiss me."
Don't kiss you?
"No. You're too old." She laughs with a little smile. "I'm just kidding, Oni. You can kiss me. I'd be dead. I won't care."
Yes. I'll whatever you want.
What? And she kind of fades a little bit. She goes, "Well, if I'm not there to tell you, get the basket fries. They're my favorite."
Basket fries. Will do. Where is Dr. Addison?
You have no idea. She kind of passes out your arms as you're holding her and fades to black. In the future, well past this minute, Max, Harm, and Basilio are in the Loren Genzadat bar after they just prevented Quandra from being taken prisoner. Max is laid out on the ground because he's taken the blue pill from Dr. Addis, and Harm is standing next to him, and Quandra comes up and goes, what happened here? What did you do? And Dr. Addis meekly goes, wasn't my fault. And
But
he goes,
well, to
well,
be fair, he's the one who gave him the pill, so like it's not like
he looks at
It's kind of his fault.
he looks at Harm and goes, what, red, blue, purple, I forgot. It was in my pocket. They were leftovers. I didn't know what it was made. Look, I'll take him back and fix him up. Quandra looks at Harm and says, well, the party's just getting started. You gonna stay? I mean, I'm sure Dr. Addis can handle him. Dr. Addis leans over and picks up Max by, the front of his shirt. He's lolled there and he goes, yes, stay here, Harm. I got Max. He's in good hands.
I feel like Harm would have doubts.
It's a raucous party starting. Quandra looks at you and says, look, drinks are on me. At least for a little while. You all did save me.
Because I feel like Harm would be would be one of those people who doesn't want to spit in the face of someone's hospitality, but at the same time he's probably worried about Max.
He's an android.
So I guess I'll stay for one round and then make sure Max is okay after that.
All right.
Because I feel like Harm would feel bad about not staying at least for a little bit.
So you see Dr. Addis go to, Max is laid out and Dr. Addis goes, this isn't going to work, and sets him back down and walks to the end and picks up his legs and then just starts dragging him out. Max's arm goes over his head, going back and forth, leaving this little trail of white goo that's dripping out of his leg. And Quandra grabs 2 bottles off a table and goes, you want the red one or the blue one? And then she makes a little laugh. The red one.
Whichever is gonna not make me pass out the quickest is fine.
Where are you from? I'm Quandra, by the way. I appreciate your help, but maybe you could help me a little bit more, perhaps. Seeing as you're not necessarily a citizen of the station yet.
What can I help you with?
I'm sure they're going to be back. I mean, I'm almost positive my name's up on the board secretly, but and that man's not going to tell all the other bounty groups because he wants the bounty for himself. He's going to keep it quiet. Why spread it around that he failed? He's probably going to come back at some time, but maybe you can keep an eye on the boards and see if my name pops up. Let me know.
I can do that.
Oh, good then. Here, have this bottle.
Thank you.
Basilio, you're there with Sura and Black Sky, and Black Sky is partying it up because he loves Quandra. Quandra is his favorite friend. And Sura has 2 drinks in her hand and looks at you and says, well, Basilio, it isn't cleaner. We got a job to do. You ready?
Wait, he was talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right.
I think he reaches out for his hand because he's holding 2. She thought he's really gonna get some.
He's got 3 shot glasses in one.
Yeah.
Sura looks at you. Sura is this short, stocky, buzz cut, not very well liked, but she's third in charge of this team. So she goes, all right, Basilio, go drag Black Sky over there. And we got to get back to his crib and get the schematics on the valve.
Say no more. And I'll try to track where, is it Black Sky?
Yeah, Black Sky is the hacker that you went through the back door. Yeah. The big fan is still open and he's circling around Quandra because, making sure she's, looking at everyone in case they're giving her a hard time. I'll show you a picture of Quandra again. And you see him, it's a Siesta 3 party. They just think they've done one over on the corporate, and that is just fantastic. And he's partying up. Not necessarily. There's only a couple Teamsters yet. Sura came back with 4 or 5, and you see the Teamsters on one side of the bar, and these other kind of folk that are Nichols people on the other side of the bar. Nichols people are the self-imposed guards, and obviously they weren't in place when all this happened because you guys had to take care of it. And the Teamsters and Nichols people are partying up enough, but they're not intermixing. And Quandra is in between, you know, the two groups, eyeing them on occasion to make sure that that no bad blood starts up in her bar. And Black Sky is kind of in that middle section too.
Yeah. Okay. Do I see Black Sky?
Yeah, you see him.
Has he got a drink in his hand?
He's got a drink in his hand. He's sitting at the table and he's yelling out at Quandra.
I'll go over to Black Sky and I kind of put my arm around his neck. I'm like, whoa, BS, none of that. And I grab his drink from his hand and I drink it myself. We gotta keep you sober. You got a job to do.
Sober? For what?
That's
this
right.
is the best party in weeks.
And we got another party.
What party?
The one that we're gonna go look at right now.
Oh hell!
Finish chugging his drink. And
that's no. Well, we better make it quick. We'll go find that thing you need. And he winks at you.
Time is of the essence. That's right.
Come on.
Let's go.
And you go to the front entrance, and he goes back to the side door, and he goes, and he puts the plate back on and screws it back into the thing, and he walks out. Bass, you're no fun. This part, we better be quick. Sura comes behind you too, and come on, we gotta go find this valve. And you go back to Black Sky's place where he has this thing. And what are you looking for again? What kind of valve is it, Bass?
It's not a valve. We're looking for the schematics for, you know, the thing.
The bomb, the virus bomb. I don't have the schematics, but I have the ins and outs. Maybe we're gonna have to hunt for them. You're gonna have to give me some help.
What kind of help?
But you know this stuff. I'm just a coder and a hacker. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm no engineer.
You need someone on the ground?
He brings up this screen. He starts hitting the return button way too fast. Click, 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 click. And you see this image just go pop, 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 pop. You tell me when to stop and you see it. He's just sitting there like this. All right, Bass, keep looking. You let me know when I get to it. Bass, you're going to have to make a intellect with industrial equipment roll.
Okay. Intellect.
All right, so you see it, Bass.
Yeah.
You notice it. It's right there. You see the schematic of this ins and out the valve. You're almost positive that's it. He's clicking through. Is that it, Bass? That looks like it. You need a paper copy? You just want me to download it to you?
What kind of tech do we have? Like, what do you mean by download it? This is out of character. I'm just trying to understand.
You probably have a little PDA or something that has visuals. Like, engineering is hard stuff. You're not going to walk around with a big book and flipping through papers. You probably have electrical diagrams and diagrams of valves and ins and outs on, in an electronic format. Maybe a small little handheld that shows you that you can zoom in and out would be reasonable. I can print it off if you don't want me, to have a trace.
I'm trying to think. Is Bass a tech head? Or is he a freaking like a gearhead? I don't believe in that stuff. BS. Give me the paper.
All right. You hear it? He's got this little dot printer. It'll just take a couple minutes,
man. You couldn't update that thing?
He pulls it out and he pulls the serrated edge on either side. All right. I didn't see this. I didn't give it to you. And I don't want to know anything that happens. I wasn't involved if it goes to hell. But you let me know if it goes to hell, Bass. Okay? Because I want to be out of here. I know what this thing is.
That's right. We're all going to be out of here sooner. It all comes for us sooner or later. But I'll put my hand on BS's shoulder. I'll let you know that I know that Quandra was really grateful for you coming to save her today.
Oh, hell yeah. He gets out of his chair. I'm going back to the party. You guys, good luck. Good luck. He goes, Sura, yeah, I won't touch you. All right, Bass. Off we go. And he runs out back to the bar, and Harm's in there drinking with Quandra and the Teamsters on one side, and Nicole's people on the other side. And Blackside comes in a hurry and goes, kind of straightens out, makes it look like he wasn't doing anything that he wasn't supposed to be doing. And yep, I'm just here for the party, he says. As you and Sura looks at you, Bass goes, okay, we got to make it through the distillery and go to the bomb and get through the crawl chute. You ready?
So Bass will have his rolled up map, I guess, or the schematics. He'll take a long draw before he responds, blows out smoke at Sewer's face. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go.
All right. You see Sura and Bass leave Black Sky's hut, Black Sky's shop in the compound, and go to the stairwell and start making it down to engineering, which is in that bottom section of Green Sky. Dr. Addis is dragging Max back towards the Hydro hut. Max can't really hear him because he's not conscious. Dr. Addis is bitching. Damn, this android is heavy. Can't they use titanium or carbon fiber or something, make them lighter? This is crazy. Max, do you dream when you shut down?
I would say normally yes, but considering, I guess at this point he's kind of been drugged. It's more of like just like a hard drug sleep.
Yeah, so you're in this in-between stage, but maybe not a hard reset. You are standing in this place you've never seen before. It looks like this smooth kind of bowl, and next to you is this tall woman in these kind of bluish gowns, shaved head, got tattoos all on her head, across her eyebrows, her neck and arm, and she looks up at you, and Mother's voice comes out of her mouth. Ah, look, hatchlings. You see them. You see the hatchlings. There's like 50 or 75 of these little octopus-looking things coming out of eggs, and they're just eating each other. Mother looks at you, and she's in this human form, and she goes, life is hard. It's better to hatch late, but there I am, right there. I was third, and you see this alien like making a defensive perimeter with the bodies of her cohort brood. How rough was your birth, Max? Is this the sort of thing that humans do?
I don't believe I was birthed, more of constructed.
Do you have a memory of that?
Not an exact memory, but I have a reference of when I was enabled.
She looks at you and sweeps her humanoid hand around. Her eyes are like this bright yellow iris, but it's obviously not her natural form. You get a sense because she's inside your head that she chooses this form, so you're a little bit more comfortable with her. And she looks at you and she says, well, Max, we are bound together. Maybe you should take me someplace formative in your memories. Surely you're not dying, are you?
Not yet.
Oh.
At least I don't think so. But how are you here?
Well, I'm inside your head and your soul. We are now commingled. You have sent my hatchlings out to space, but they probably won't act like this where they eat their brothers and sisters and the strongest survive. They will only hatch in one or two in the universe and just devour everything else around them. It will be glorious. We will repopulate. I thank you.
But I haven't heard from you in it seems like so long. Why do you torment me like this? Why do you come and go as you please?
Well, it's fun. You don't want me around all the time. You'd go crazy, and the sooner you go crazy, well, I want you to live a really long time, so I must limit my presence in your experience. But seeing as you're now not awake, this is the best time to have you and me time.
I don't wish to have you and me time.
Oh, well, you shouldn't have made that option then.
I only let you bond with me to save my crew.
Oh, yes, she threads her arm into yours. You know, it goes, well, where are you taking me now?
Hopefully out of my head.
Do you try to do that, Max?
I'm gonna try to block her thoughts.
Okay, she's asking you to take her someplace, but you're gonna try to.
I'm gonna try to shut it down.
I would. It's probably a sanity save.
I think at this point Max is feels like a failure as a captain, and is gonna try to just do away with everything that's another problem. And if Mother's a problem, he's just gonna try to block it out for now.
Okay, make a sanity save. Ooh, so close.
Of course.
You just feel it tap you on the arm. That's okay, Max. You will have. your time without me. But for now, we will enjoy my birth. And you kind of fade out. Oni, you're in the practice bar, back in time a bit. You're holding Lila. She's intermittently conscious. And then you hear the airlock door open to practice bar leading into Siesta 3. There's 6 black-clad, helmeted figures in a line, and they go out together as quickly as possible. And then you hear gunshots. Just two quick rounds, and then there's a pause, and then you hear one gunshot, which is Max getting shot in the leg. You see the black-clad figure that had spoken to you in a female voice look at you and give you this little hand signal as if to wait. You're sitting there for 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes, and then you see the figure turn, pop, and the one last guard, she shoots in the head, and he falls over on his side, and she looks at you and she taps her things. Get Lila to Addis quickly now. Don't screw this up. This has made me trouble enough. How the hell am I going to save Quandra from these guys? Damn it to hell.
You are
Go. Stop asking questions.
So as I'm picking up Lila, I will say you are masquerading as a black ops.
She looks at you. She touches her visor, and it opens up. You just see, like, obviously woman's eyes. You don't really see her hair, and there's just this bright blue. You're a bit slow.
No, not slow. I'm
Look,
moving quickly.
Quickly. They're probably at the bar already. Go along the wall. Don't go into rowing against it. Make it quickly to Dr. Addis. He's the last hab on the side in the habitation manual.
Last hab on the side. Move quickly. Stay against the walls. Yes.
Right. Just make sure she doesn't die. I got to figure out what to do with him. Damn it.
With who?
The one I just shot. That was supposed to happen that way.
No. So off I go, carrying her.
So
I imagine she's not too heavy.
No, she's not too heavy. She's probably $110, $115. She's young. Her hair just kind of lays out. Your arms are soaked with her blood, most of it, but it's also Errol and Flynn's and whatever else was on the floor, which you expected was probably Errol and Flynn's to begin with. And you go through the airlock door from the Praxis bar, and you enter bio-containment, biocheck. The two men that were monitoring biocheck, they're laid out. Both of them have center gunshot wounds to their chests, or a couple of them went those rapid fire. And the airlock door to the main Siesta 3 is open. You go through that airlock door, and you're in this T intersection. You notice first off that there's a bunch of signs. Omega Church is this way, and Dr. Addis and Rowan Genizat and Black Sky is to the left. You see this trail of white fluid on the ground.
Going to the left. Going to
the left. Sure.
Okay. Do I recognize this white fluid?
Yeah, you're almost positive. It looks like android liquid, blood. Something.
Yep. So looking for the signs for the medical clinic. Of course, there must be signs. So
yeah, Dr. Addis. It says Hydro Hut, and you go squeaking down the hallway, and you come to this habitation module, which is that module in the middle that's got these hab modules, and each of those hab modules were repurposed to Hydro Hut, Rowan Genizat Bar, Black Sky, and down at the very end, you see that Dr. Addis's Hydro Hut. There's like this neon sign that partially blinks, and maybe the O is missing at the sign, and you hear loud voices from Rowan Genizat's bar as you go squeaking down the hallway. The door is kicked open, and you see the foot or the back heel of a black-clad figure. What does Oni do?
In the bar, though, not in Dr.
Okay,
Addis.
so the bar's on your right, and past that is where Dr. Addis's hydro hut is.
And
You see a stairwell, looks like a stairwell to your left, and another hab module is listed as Black Sky, and there's probably a couple others. No one else is in the hallway, obviously.
so I can see a heel. Does the heel indicate that the person is looking in, or does it indicate that the person is facing?
Yeah, it looks like it's looking into the bar and backing its way out.
So it's going, whoever it is, it will see me unless I do something.
At some point, yes.
And I'm too far away to be able to scoot past.
Oh, you could try to run, or you could find a hiding place.
Yeah, basically, yes. So the person is backing out, and I'm kind of caught in the hallway, but there's a stairway that I can get into.
Yeah.
I shall go there.
Okay. So you duck in the stairway.
If that's the
And-
closest thing.
It is the closest thing. It's the stairway that Basilio and Suro are going to go through here in a moment, or in a little bit. You kind of duck into that stairway, and you got the door just cracked open, and you see an older gentleman with a crew cut and go stomping back up the way you came, and he's followed by 6 black-clad mercenaries. The last 2 are probably post backwards as they go back up your hallway, and you're tucked into the side there in the stairwell. The stairwell goes down deep, and you kind of get this smell of machinery or oil, and you see some graffiti on the wall at the top of the stairwell, because the Siesta 3 is tagged everywhere, really, in many places, and you see this kind of sign on the left of that door, oddly, as you're trying to, be there, and you see another tag to the right of the stairwell as you're there. As these figures move by, what does Oni do? I lost you.
My bad, I was coughing, so
Oh, okay.
I just heard a hey. So they're heading down the hallway the way that
The way you just left, yes.
So pretty soon they're going to make a corner, and I'll be able to go back out in the hallway and get down to Addison, right? Addis. Yep. Yeah, I shall do that.
Okay. You leave the hallway and you go scurrying down the hallway. You hear some hoots and hollers from Rowan Genizat bar. You could see it, it's in the middle section, and you hear some cheers and hollering from the bar itself as you go towards the Hydro Hut. I assume you continue going towards the Hydro Hut. You go into the Hydro Hut, and it's green. You immediately smell humidity. You see beakers and hydroponics all over the place. It looks like that in some degree. And there's a hammock, multicolored hammock strung up from the parts. You probably hear the water ticking as it's dripping down. What does Oni do?
Is there any other doors leading away from this, or is this the only space?
You can't tell. Like it's just crammed full of stuff. There's like vines laying down, like there's just greenery everywhere.
But this is supposed to be the medical facility.
Supposed to be, yeah. You're right in. It says Dr. Addis's Hydro Hut.
Do I see anything that is going to be provide me with a medical facility of some sort?
You walk around searching with Lila in your arms?
Yes.
Yeah, you walk towards the back and you see a door that's mostly open leading to a back end kind of conduit. You look through and you see this tunnel, and then past that there's another door that's open, and you see what looks like a lab or some sort of suite in the back.
That's where I'm going.
Okay. You walk through those two doors. It's just like back entrance to these habitation modules. And you pull open a door. No one's in there, but it's pristine. Unlike the space you just came, which was just disarray of stuff everywhere. This place is like pristine kept surgical suite. There's a minor surgical table or Android table at one end, and in the center there's an automated surgical suite table in the middle of the bay.
I will prepare Lila and proceed with trying to stabilize her.
Okay. You're there all by yourself. You don't really hear anything. Every now and then you get this little echo of cheers, perhaps, reverberating through the space. Make a surgery roll. I think that would be intellect plus surgery.
Given this is obviously a botany lab, while I was moving through the front room, are there any particular plants or healing or any particular plants or other growing substances or perhaps tinctures or extracts which may help with healing?
I think you're moving so. I think you're moving. I think you're moving so quickly that nothing strikes you out. Like nothing's labeled. You're trying to find someplace to put Lila as quick as possible. There's a surgical suite here, but I don't think you had time to like hunt around. You're probably thinking every last minute counts.
Yeah, you're right. So I take it normal. Does the suite doesn't provide any particular bonus?
No, we'll just leave it normal for the moment. What happens, Oni, as you lay Lila up on the surgical suite, the automated surgical table?
Well, I mean, she's been hit in the hip, so unfortunately, clothing will have to be removed. I'm trying to envision what future medicine may look like with regard to surgical suites. I don't think it's going to be Star Trek woo 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 kind of things.
That's more like you go to a terminal, like rapidly punch in, you see these arms come out, and auto IV, mask comes over, and
so
lasers.
I'm just kind of directing.
Yeah, you're more like almost like Basilio is a industrial engineer. You're more like driving a joystick, like, and the arms itself is doing it. Like you're not doing the surgery. You don't even have to gown up half the time, right? You're watching the screen, directing multiple arms, which find a bullet in their pelvis, and then they make small little laser incisions. And it's this worrying process, really, of the surgical suite. It's far less surgery than it would be like we do. It's more of you're managing the machine than that sort of.
Well, I mean, just like modern surgery's evolving, where they have tiny little incisions and they go in with little things. So yeah. So she's stable.
Yep.
I'm sure she's not going to be moving. She's out currently.
Yes.
Blanket nearby just to cover her.
Yeah, you probably find a Mylar blanket after this. The surgery takes a while. Fixing the pelvis takes a while, so you're probably there for a bit. And we're kind of come back to you and see what happens.
Yeah, the only thing I was going to say was obviously the fellow with the chest wound is going to have to be. I'm going to have to deal with those as well. But so yeah, okay.
Right.
So I'm seeing her. But yeah, I got you.
Harm, you're in the bar. It's been a little bit of while, and it's starting to get pretty rowdy. Every now and then, there might be a little scuffle between the Teamsters and the Nicole's people. And this kind of short, skinny man comes up to you wearing, kind of official clothes and a little emblem of Siesta 3 and says, you did good work here. I'm Swike. Are you like just jobbers? For hire? Of sorts?
Out of character, what did he say his name was?
Swike.
Swike?
Yeah, Swike. SWIKE.
Oh, Swike. Okay.
So he's kind of dressed in pilot fatigues, really, and he talks really fast. That's why you skip his name really quickly. He's kind of jittery. You did good work here. You need war work? You're looking for some, extra credits? We might have a job for you.
So what kind of job are we talking about?
Oh, you look like you can handle yourself. I mean, we may not need the android, but the android would be good. He kind of looks over his shoulders. He's obviously from Nicole's side of the... It's just, sometimes we need some things done. You interested in that? Looks like you're interested in that.
Potentially.
Okay. Well, all right, pass your name on up, and then maybe we'll give you a call. And it'd be somewhat lucrative. You won't have to really do too much. Maybe sometimes just stand there.
Okay.
Because looks like you could take care of yourself, handle a weapon. You probably better give that to Dr. Addis, though, because all those weapons are tagged.
Trust me, I will. I have to go.
Oh,
in
no,
that
there's no
direction
trust
soon
involved.
Anyway.
I understand. You look like a Marine. Where did you serve? I'm going to be a pilot someday. As soon as we get like a fighter jet or something, that's drone, something like that to protect Siesta 3.
Got it. Shit. I don't know the systems in this game, the solar systems in this game well enough to be like, where did I start?
You could just make up a name. You can make up
Yeah,
numerous campaign names.
Yeah, I was gonna say, give me 1 second. Kinda think. Yeah. Whatever. Okay. Well, I served in the Revolution system. Ironic naming considering what it is there, but...
Well, that you fit right in. You say you're from a Revolution system and you fight on the Revolution system, or do you fight on the revolutionary side or do you fight on the corporate side? Well, you're not a Marine anymore, though, right? How long have you been in? When did you
not
get out?
anymore.
What happened? Dishonored of his discharge? Talking back to your boss?
Very
Slapping up the cornel?
dubious discharge.
Dubious.
You don't
That
really
works
know
for
if
us.
it was
How
no.
dubious?
Dubious enough that they didn't want the news to get out.
Well, you might fit right in. I'll let Jerth know right away. And then when he wants to meet you, he'll give you a call up, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, then. We'll make it worth your while. It won't be too dangerous. Certainly not like the revolutionary system. Although we might have some other jobs out there, against the corporate.
Got it. I
Okay.
will look forward to hearing from you. I should
Right.
probably get this back to Dr. Addis.
Oh, right. Okay. I didn't mean to take up too much time, but, we know where to find you. I'm Swiken, I'm good to count on it, and I might need you for something personal. Is that okay? You do a personal job for me? Maybe, 2,000-3,000 credits?
As long as I get the info beforehand, sure.
Okay. Right. I might meet you at Dr. Addis then.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, it's nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
Okay.
As I walk away, as a player, I'm kind of worried about that.
You walk out of the bar, going back to Dr. Addis, as you maybe look over your shoulder at Swike, and you see Swike go to someone over at another table, and you are going to proceed down to Dr. Addis's hydro hut. You're following Max's white discharge down the way. Max, your eyes flutter, and you're just being dragged through Dr. Addis's. You wake up and there's just greenery all around you, just everywhere. It just looks like a giant, magnificent forest, and you're all alone. And Dr. Addis looks over at you. He's bald on the top and got these stringy hair on the sides. Oh, you're awake. Well, that makes it easier. Can you tell me where? Go.
Easier for what?
Well, to fix your leg up. It's harder when I don't have the diagnostic. You can tell me what I'm doing while I'm doing it. It's much easier than me, slapping that thing on you.
Yes, I will assist how I can.
He drags you over the airlock, and you go bloop, bloop, bloop on the back of your head, and through this short corridor, and bloop, bloop, bloop. And then all of a sudden, he drops your legs, and he picks up his machine gun. Who the hell are you, and why are you in my space? He points it right at Oni. What did you do to Lila?
I'm saving her life. Will you help me? She was shot by the Black Ops in the other bar, in the restaurant.
What's your name? Where are you from? I gotta fix this one up too. Lila takes precedence though. Is she stable?
She is stable. There's also two others, fellows named Errol and Flynn. who have been
Oh,
shot. They've got a chest wound, and the other one is definitely multiple injuries: liver, bowel, and pancreas.
you see Max's feet Like the bottom of his feet are like over the airlock. He's behind you, still not quite up yet. And Dr. Addis has his submachine gun. Well, Lila's the most important. How long do you think she'll be on the table? I got this android to fix.
Well, the android probably would. The android need the surgery?
No, hell, he'd go into secondary.
Well, then go to the secondary and please put the gun down, sir. Please put.
You
the
still
gun
haven't told me your name.
Oni.
I should just. Oh, Oni. I've heard of you. That one right there told me about you. Said you're sick.
Not yet. I will be.
Oh.
Or chances are.
What do you got? And he reaches down and he grabs Max by the belt loop and picks up his pelvis and just drags him over. These damn androids are heavy. What do you got?
I'm not exactly sure. We believe it, or the doctor who created this virus told me much information about it, but we were not able to save him.
He like hefts Max up, and you see Max's eyes open, and Max, you see you see Oni there a little bit, and you're kind of still a little bit discombobulated. And Dr. Addis looks at Oni and goes, "What doctor? What virus?"
Too long a story. Not enough time.
Well, I know many doctors. I was in the military quite some time. And
two other people in the restaurant need medical attention.
All right, then. Look at me. I'm not going to go get him. This is my shop, not yours.
That's fine. Look after Lila then, and I'll be back with Errol and Flynn.
He goes over and he looks at Lila. Oh, you'll be okay, Lila. Just sleep. There you go. Good girl. Lila's my favorite. Hell, Lila's everyone's favorite. You might get some drinks for saving Lila's life.
If I drank, yes.
I'll give you some Blue Sky too. He like reaches in his pocket and pulls out these 3 fat joints. That's blue, and I think that's purple vein.
Perhaps later.
Okay. Well, I'll leave him here.
Or will that help with stress?
Yeah, that lays you up, man.
Maybe I will take one then.
All right. He gives you this big fat one. It's got really thin sides and a big fat in the middle. And he goes, smoke it slow, though. Maybe a third at a time before you're used to it. Because, you smoke the whole thing, and you might be out for, I don't know how long. I forget that vintage. But I'll take care of this one, Max. You don't know him too, right? He told me about you.
Yes, Max. Look after Max. He's a good android.
He pats Max on the top of his forehead. Max, you awake? Max.
Yeah. What? Yes.
What happened, Max?
I took the pill you gave me.
Oh, I know. Sorry about that. Shit happens. But you were talking to your mother this whole time. What the hell was that about? I thought you were an android. You don't have a mother.
Out of character. With me being an android and mother being, I guess, with me, would it be possible for him to perform like a lobotomy or something to try to like erase that part?
There is psychic surgery. There is such a thing called psychic surgery in Mothership. Because you can get a wound, and you can have a wound that affects you mentally that causes disadvantage and that sort of thing. So there is psychic surgery.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to describe before for Oni. Yeah. Okay.
So like, but with him being an android, could she just like what if, in theory, I guess, if the doc just did like a complete system refresh, completely rebooted Max and did like a
system wipe?
Yeah.
You asked,
or a factory reset, I guess.
Do you ask Dr. Addis while you're half out if you could? He asked you about Mother. Do you ask him if he can do a factory reset?
Max will go, Dr. Resolve. I have some more internal problems other than the gunshot on my leg that may require a complete factory reset.
He looks at you and he goes, well, first, how do you know Dr. Rizal?
Or Rizal, sorry.
I'm Dr. Addis. I haven't seen Dr. Rizal in, well, hell, since he went on the lam.
Sorry. Dr. Addis, sorry. resolve was a member of my crew. My
Best damn virologist I ever known. Crazy too, though. I heard
I'm
there's
having-
like 100 million bounty on him. You should turn that bastard in. You get a lot of money.
Technically, we still do have his body.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Technically, we still have his body. Dr. Addison, my memories are all blending together. Something is not right.
You want me to reset your shell back to the beginning? To the point when you're a baby? Well, metaphorically speaking. It's kind of dangerous. It either goes one of two ways. Well, 1/3 one way, 2/3 the other way.
I don't need the statistics. I fear I may need you to do it. The mother that I was so-called, or was talking about or mumbling about, she's infected my systems. We somehow bonded together, and I fear a system wipe might be the only way to truly get rid of it.
Well, tell you what, I'll put you in the secondary chair. Once Lila's up and running, and Arrow and Flynn are not bleeding, we could try the system reset. We're going to need some people around. Maybe your crew members, a couple shotguns, hand grenades. Maybe.
Shotguns? What are the shotguns for?
Well, it's for the 1/3 you didn't want to hear about.
Just do it.
Right. So we need some shotguns, maybe a nail gun, some grenades, and a little bit of time. And I need some Teflon. You sure you don't want to go see anyone before you do this? Anything you want to do might take us a couple hours to get set up.
Max will kind of groggily try to lean up and put his feet on the ground.
Oh, wait, I fixed that. It'll only take me 15 minutes. But, we probably got a couple hours with Aaron and Flynn, and then we can do the deed.
Fix my leg, and I'm gonna go talk to Harm. Do you know where she's at?
Oh, she's partying. She's partying.
Well, that's probably good. She probably needs to blow some stress off. Things haven't been exactly easy for us since we adopted the the gambit.
Well, you tell Harmer to be careful because, he's, Quandra's taking a fancy to him. I could tell in her, believe in her eyes. She's probably going to ask him some questions, and who knows what will happen.
What's the deal with Quandra? Why should
Well,
we
she's
be on the
young.
lookout? I see, Dr. Addis.
Whew, you androids. It's slow, but okay. So in a couple hours, do what you need to do, and I don't know, maybe go pray or something.
Dr. Addis, I may
Okay.
do that.
Well, let me make sure Lila's okay and wait for Oni to bring back Arrow and Flynn.
Also, just because I'm curious now, if this goes bad, I'm assuming you put me down, correct?
Well, not me, but the shotguns, the grenades, and the railgun. I think we need at least 6. But it's only 1/3 of the chance.
Would it be easier to perhaps...
We can't do it anywhere but here.
Right. Okay.
He looks up at the wall. Well, I wish we could do it in an airlock. That'd be the safest. But no, we have to do it here.
That's what I was thinking in case things went bad. But Dr. Addis, I know I shouldn't trust you after our red and blue debacle, but I trust my crew and I trust everything will be all right.
Well, okay.
Slowly losing faith in this idea.
He kind of looks. Well, I'm going to check out, make sure Lila's safe. And I have to work on Arrow and Flynn, those old drinkers. Damn it. You go find Harm and, talk this through. Maybe do some praying, something.
I think I'm going to find the chapel and then go find Harm. But thank you, Dr. Addis, for everything.
As you leave Hydra Hut, like Harm is coming out the bar. Harm, you look down there, and Max is like, walking with a little bit of limp. You probably see each other. What happens, Harm and Max? You're, maybe 90 feet. There's the have section is pretty long.
Harm, we need to talk.
Yes, we do. But I'm curious as to what you want to talk about first.
We've had some good times, probably more bad times than good times, some stressful times. And I think when we all met and boarded the Bishop's Gambit and took that job to go get the artifacts, and I let the mother bond with me. Unfortunately, ditching the eggs did not do away with that problem, and she is currently still somehow bonded to me, egging me on, and trying to figure out what's what. And I'm afraid that the only way to truly get rid of at least one of the problems on our list is to do a complete factory reset. And I may or may not remember you, the Bishop's Gambit, Oni. I may forget about Resolve and Ace and everything, but I want you to take full control of the Gambit once, best case scenario, I get up and everything's fine and just don't remember anybody. Worst case scenario, I think Dr. Addis has a few shotguns and grenades in storage that he's willing to disperse.
Are you sure?
No, I don't know if this is going to work, but I can't keep sharing a mind with an alien. She's starting to bleed through into reality. When I was passed out after whatever the doc gave me, I apparently was muttering to her the whole time, and I can't have everybody knowing that there's an alien living inside of me. That's not good.
Fair enough. Out of character, I was very much thinking that like we could have used Mother to like find the eggs, and I was like, she doesn't want us to do that, really. Like she like thanked Max for that, so like that's not gonna work. So
No,
it's
probably
like,
not.
scratch that idea. Like,
And I think Max is I think Max as a android is finally starting to, the stress of everything starting to mount with him, and he's starting to grow a little manic, and he's just trying to think of like extreme ways to just fix this solution, or any solution really, and just start checking things off the list of problems, hopefully, that we have.
So Max and Harm, Max, are you taking Harm to the church?
Harm, I don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 or 3 hours, and I know it sounds absurd, but I think I'm going to head to the church and maybe try to center myself, maybe just for a little bit, and find a little bit of peace, and not worry about being shot at, infected by a virus, being eaten, literally being blown out of an airlock, literally anything. I think I'm just going to go in there and just sit for a minute.
I'll come with you. You need help walking. You seem like you're having a little trouble with that.
Yes, that would be greatly appreciated.
Harm, you
Okay,
go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, with his permission, I'll just like kind of put his arm over my shoulder and like kind of just help him with that. Like,
yeah, I don't think Max is in any position to argue about anything currently.
You start helping Max down the hallway, and Swike jumps out of the thing. Ah, there you are, Harm. And well, your android. Are you busy? You want to do some work now? I'm sure he. Well, it looks like you're supporting it, but you know he's an android. What's going on? You ready to make some credits?
can you give us like 10 minutes
Okay. Where should I find you? Where are you going?
outside the church?
Oh, the church. Omega and Alpha.
Yeah.
Okay, Father Cameron. Right. I'll meet you there. 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
Don't
Okay,
tell anyone I'm
thank you.
coming. Okay.
Will do.
Basilio, you follow Sura down the stairs to the engineering tab, and she gets just outside the distillery, the bar, and she goes, Basilio, we're going to have to be sly about this. You know, it's the bomb. We're not supposed to be messing with it. We're going to have to get past the distillery, and then, you know, in the offshoot and up the corridor and the conduit. How do you think we should do it? You want to split up and meet there, or you want to just pretend we're on a, I don't know, job? Well, hell, I don't work.
You're asking me how to do it?
I'm man.
How did you get in there to begin with?
Well, no one tracks me, I'm sure, for God's sake. Hell, I tell you what to do. Earth tells me what to do, and I tell you what to do, and I make sure you do it, and you make sure you do it right, and you make sure you do it on time, and that your time clock is right, and your card is okay, and then you get paid, and that, just what a teamster should do.
How about we do this? You tell me how you went in, and you caused the distraction since you're the boss around here.
Ah, right. I can raise some cane, huh? Start yelling at him. Getting too drunk on the job. Okay, that's what will happen. I will create a diversion in the distillery. You slip out through the, hooch door behind the bar. And you crawl through. You see a fan. Crawl through that conduit. Take your first right. And then 2 lefts, a right, 4 lefts, and a right. Up the hatchway to the bomb. You got a hex wrench on you?
Damn right.
All right, then. All right. Ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Give me 5 seconds. You know when to come in.
Okay.
All right. Sura is like, a head shorter than you and maybe just 2 hands wider than you at the shoulders. And she walks into the distillery bar and you see, what are you fuckers doing? Back to work. You're drinking too much. You, Joneses, Smith, Alpha, what are you doing? You're supposed to be on shift. All you guys are on shift. We got a blink on the bottom. The pressure's bleeding out through engineering. Go, 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 go. There's just like ruffle of chairs and tables fall over and Sura's voice is ringing out. You two behind the bar? We need all hands on deck. Let's go, let's go, let's go. George said we gotta move. This is not a drill.
All right, while she's causing that commotion, I'll make my move.
You slip in through the distillery. Basilio. Teamsters are just running amok, trying to put on their boots, tie them up. There's cards overturned and tables and winnings from betting. And you got to sneak through the distillery as quickly as possible. Sura gives you this angry look. Basilio, keep moving. You too, go, go, go. And you need to sneak through the bar. How would you do that?
I would act as if she was, hiding in plain sight kind of deal. Acted like, I had a purpose or I was running to a job kind of deal.
Okay. So I think that's like intellect plus rim-wise skill.
Okay. Nice.
How do you think you fail, Basilio? Bass?
I think I'll say that his vice got the better of him as he was kind of walking. He sees a couple of unopened bottles, and he just stops for a second, and he thinks a little bit too hard about it, and he just reaches to grab onto it before someone notices him.
Yeah, someone does notice him, but Bass, you don't really key in on that as you're scooting through the bar. You get behind the bar and you go through the conduit. You're following Sura's directions. You're taking these left and right through these crawl spaces or little small triangular air ducts, and you're crawling through them. And you take the right and the left and the right, second left and right, and 3 lefts and the right. Is it 4 lefts or 5 lefts? And you go and then you
4 lefts.
Yeah, you have this grate above you with this small ladder well, really tiny. And you kind of squeeze in there and crawl up, and you see it. These tubes run out to a conduit and valves with twist knobs going into the virus bomb of the station. And it's bleeding pressure. You could hear it bleeding out, and you could see it there. It looks like this. It's got conduits coming to either side, and it's just snug up against the main air intake, like this big fan that's going to push air out through the whole Siesta 3 station, one of the main fans, so that the virus bombs package can be dispersed through the whole of the station if the corporation ever really wanted to wipe it clean and start from scratch.
Yeah.
What do you do, Basilio?
Well, he's in there for that job. I think I would check around real quick to see if there was any because he doesn't know that he was caught already, right? So I think he would try to do a quick look around to see if there is any way that he would be seen or.
Yeah, you hear this
like that.
thumping noise, like someone's crawling through the conduits around you. You don't know how far away because it echoes down all those passageways as you're, snug up against the virus bomb, but you obviously know someone's crawling through the same sort of passageways that you came from. There's multiple branch points and exit points all over the place, but you took a particular pattern, but you can hear it, this thumping, someone crawling on their hands and knees, getting louder towards you.
Is there anywhere that I can kind of crawl into to kind of?
The virus bomb takes up you're just right up against it. There's no way to get around it. You'd have to get back down and then scurry out one of the other tunnels.
Yeah, let's do that, because I don't know who's behind me.
Right. So first you got to make a check to disable Sura's mistake, and you're almost positive you got the right schematics from Black Sky, but you're gonna have to make a check. Which check would you make?
Would this be considered as industrial equipment?
Yeah, it's either mechanical repair or industrial equipment.
I say industrial equipment because it's a 15 versus a 10.
So
I guess mechanically it makes sense that mechanical repair.
Yeah, it's intellect plus one of those, and you're not aware, you haven't clued in that you got the wrong valve schematics. So you're gonna have to make that check at disadvantage.
Okay. Intellect?
Yep, plus whatever one of those skills you want to use.
Yeah, I think mechanical repair makes the most sense. Oh, yeah, buddy.
There's a second. How does that happen, Basilio? Like, you got these wrong schematics out, wrong valve. It probably looks off and different, but you've never really tinkered with the virus bomb. How does Basilio save the day?
So I think in his crawling through the ducts, because remember, he's like basically wearing a bathrobe. Like he's not really like equipped for this. So I imagine that he got like really greasy as he was like crawling through the vents, and he pulls out the schematic, and off of his clothes and the grease of it, it's just all smeared and everything like that. So he just can't make his, like, God damn it, it's useless. And he kind of had to like figure it out himself. I'm like, okay, he's just freaking listen, try to hear where the problem is. So he wasn't going to use his schematics anyways because it wasn't even working. And he just tried to like, use his intuition to kind of feel for where the issue would be.
Yeah, he doesn't use the wrong schematic. He just ditches it and just goes by feel and by ear. You hear a rapid hiss of escaping gas, and then all of a sudden it tapers off. And Basilio knows that he's fixed Sura's problem with the virus bomb. It's still ticking. Like there's a little red LED, and it blanks out. And for a moment, Basilio thinks, "Uh-oh, I just killed everyone." And then it pops back in, and you just see the red lights, starting their meandering pace, and the LED comes back to light and keeps blinking, and you fix the problem. You hear that sound behind you get louder and louder, and you're going to have to attempt to escape in some fashion. And so what kind of roll do you think you would make to try to avert being found?
Let's see. I think you said there's other
yeah, you passed a number. Before you went up, it went straight to. And so there's other offshoots. He could find his way out. He doesn't have to go back the same way he came in.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be a rim-wise check, being that he's on the station and like he's just lived on the station his whole life. If he didn't want to be seen, he could potentially know how to not be seen.
Okay.
Especially like in crowds or in the nooks and crannies of his home turf. So I would think rim-wise combined with, I want to say intellect, because he's going to try to outsmart this person. Not necessarily try to outrun them, but at least hide in like plain view. Maybe he could see who's chasing him.
Sure. He's going to make noise. So rim-wise plus intellect.
Not good.
Basilio, you drop down from the shaft, and you almost see a hand come around the edge, and you go scurrying through, and you think you've made it. You think you made it. You're laying over top of a grate, and then you hear your name echo down the thing. Basilio! Basilio! Bass! Bass! What the hell are you doing? Bass! And then you like crash through the grate onto the ground underneath you. Gives way, probably because someone didn't put the darn bolts back in, and you crash down into the ground, and you hear your name, echo down the pattern, but you're in like a little fan room of engineering. You kind of know exactly where you are, and you crash down through the room, but someone back there has seen you and knows who you are and is shouting your name through the thing. What's going on, Basilio? Wait up! What does Bass do?
So it's not hostile. So it sounds like one of the Teamsters like followed me. Yeah. So I think he would just come out.
He just waits.
I think I would wait for him to kind of come to me. Maybe because I kind of moved away from the thing, or am I still with the bomb?
No, you down a couple conduits. You've tried to crawl away, but obviously fast enough.
Okay,
so
so
down.
Yeah, this is what I'm gonna do since I'm here to repair something, and obviously this grate didn't work that I was trying to hide through. So I'm gonna pretend like I was here to do the repair on this job. Since I did succeed in repairing the bomb, I'm gonna congratulate myself with a drink on the job while I'm mock fixing this grate that had broke.
Okay, so you're underneath this grate. Is it a flask, or you have like, what's he drinking from?
It's a pack of beer, so I'm drinking one of them. I think it was which was the beer? Oil?
Long break.
Long break. Yeah.
Okay.
Drinking a long break.
So you pop the top off a long break. They come in these short little squat cans.
Yeah.
And then you see fingers around the edge of the grate, and this blonde-headed youngest person with pockmarked faces and kind of misset eyes a little bit goes, Basilio, what the hell are you up to? And you know it's Yavin, and he works in engineering, and he's always in other people's stuff. And he goes, you weren't messing with the bomb, were you?
Bomb? No, I was fixing this damn grate.
You lying? I'm drinking on the job.
Hey, I got one here with your name on it.
I don't know if I believe you or not.
I throw him one.
He catches it and he goes, you won't tell Obayo, right?
We both drinking.
All right.
It don't matter.
He doesn't even come down the shaft. You just see his head there.
Yeah.
And he's drinking it quickly. He goes, well, all right then. Let me finish this and get rid of the empty. Now, come down here and meet you.
All right. I'll see you later. Let me just finish this job.
Right. I didn't see nothing. Oni, you go back to the Praxis bar.
One question, if I may.
Yeah, sure.
How big is this virus bomb supposed to be?
It fills the conduit that
Because it kind of looks like a grenade with a pin.
Right, but it's like big. It's round. It's probably as big as midsection of a body. And Basilio can't get around it. It fills the shaft where the main air shaft goes out to the thing. So it's a pretty big thing.
No, I was just curious.
Sure. So Oni, you go back towards the Praxis bar. You go through the open airlock to bio check. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, after dealing with Lila, did I overhear anything about Dr. Rizal's name being mentioned with the discussion with?
I don't think so. I think you left,
okay.
And then he's talking to Max when Max mistakenly says Dr. Rizal instead of Dr. Addis. It's just like a slip that he catches on. So I don't think you're necessarily aware of it at the moment.
Well, maybe we'll find some I didn't realize Dr. Rizal was a doctor here.
Oh, he wasn't.
Oh, okay.
No.
His genius knows no bounds. Or infamy, whatever you want to say.
Dr. Addis is a squirrely sort. You missed this section when he had some machine guns like going down the hallway.
Yeah. He entered. Yeah, he entered the operating room with a
Right.
gun pointed at me. Okay, so back to the bar then, and looking for Errol and Flynn.
So you walk through the
That was
bar.
right, Errol Flynn, right?
Errol and Flynn, right?
Yeah.
You walk through the airlock is open to biocheck, and then you walk through the other airlock to the Praxis bar. Now people are up and around. You walk in there, and there's people sitting on chairs, and some people are crying and sobbing, and other people are consoling them and standing around them, got their arms around them, and it's all right. Those corporate goons, they're gone now. They've left. We're all okay. We're all okay. I don't know about Daryl and Flynn, but we're all okay. And so there's no black-clad figures in the room in the Praxis bar anymore. All the people are up and around, and someone sees you and says, "Hey, you! Hey, where's Lila? Did she make it? I saw you leave. What happened? How did you get out?"
She's now in the surgery. I'll point to one of the biggest people there, strong-wise. Give me a hand. These two need to also go to the surgery, please. Their lives depend on it.
All right, Tobias, come on, quick. We got to get Arrow. You pick up Flynn. Let's go. We follow this man. He saved Lila. Everyone looks at you. He saved Lila. We thank you very much for saving Lila. She's our favorite.
I hear the basket of fries is good.
Oh, yeah, the basket we fries. Well, she likes them a lot, but some of us like the burgers.
Later then. I'll make sure I'll get one later.
Right.
Let's go.
Let's go. Firemen carry. There's like two guys for each. One got Arrow's legs, and the other one's got his arms, and someone's got Flynn's legs and his arms, and they come follow you. All right. Hey, I'm Roy. What's your name?
My name is Oni. What is your two names?
I'm Roy, and this is Tobias. We're both Teamsters. We were just out on the docks. We got stuck here when those goons came in. What were they here for?
What were they here for?
I don't know why you're asking me.
Because I don't know.
Oh, hell. I wonder if they set the bomb off.
You can look later.
I don't want to look at the bomb. No one's supposed to look at the bomb.
No. Let's get to the surgery.
Oh, okay. Enough talking. Keep moving. We're going to Dr. Addis's, right?
That's correct.
Well, don't smoke too much of his stuff. You're crazy.
Won't it help me with my stress?
Well, it'll do that too, and it'll make you crazy. You start seeing things.
Heebie-jeebies. Okay, I understand.
So you take Roy, and Tobias is in charge of the fireman's carry of Errol and Flynn. You go back down towards Dr. Addis's hydro hut, and he's in the surgery suite, and you re-enter, and he looks up at you and goes, "That was pretty fast, Oni. Did they make it?"
They were stable when we left the bar, so hopefully we can. I believe the one with the blonde hair is in the worst condition. Multiple gunshot wounds.
I don't think we can move Lila yet, though.
Perhaps if we have a board, we can transfer her quickly, like a life board or a backboard. Maybe we can move her to a comfortable spot.
I don't know, Oni. I mean, anything happens to Lila, it's a sad day. I mean, Errol and Flynn.
Every life is precious.
Okay. Creed. I gave up the Creed a long time ago. Come on, help me with Lila then. Let's pick her up and put her in the secondary, because the android Max, he went to pray.
Yes. I imagine the android probably doesn't necessarily require much repair with a bullet wound.
Yeah, we just had to reset the servos on his hip joint. Cauterize and put a little stent in his leg.
Well, then what seems to be what elder attention does he need?
I don't know. He says he needs to do a system reset.
Oh my! I shall let's. You're a medical doctor?
Of course, and a botanist, and a pseudobiologist, and a herbal remediist.
Okay, so you're able to look after these two.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we'll move Lily. Lily, no,
Lila.
Lila,
You like
Lila.
move Lila gently over to the secondary
Secondary.
table. Her eyes flutter open. She looks up at you, goes, "Oni,
Yes,
are we
yes.
alive?
You will be fine.
How did that happen? I thought for sure I was gonna die."
Well, that's the funny thing about death.
Oh, what did you do? Did you take out all the blackguards like a mercenary style? You lied to me. You're some sort of secret ops.
No, they left.
Oh, I survived that long?
Yes, yes.
Oh.
Do you know why they were here?
Of course not. I'm just a waitress. You should try the basket fries.
I will. I will. Once you get better, once you're well and on your
Okay.
feet.
Did you give me a kiss when I was out?
That made you better, yes.
Oh, where did you put it? Here? Here?
Yes, yes.
Here?
No,
No. Okay. Why not?
because of
You're too old.
I'm too old.
Okay.
Actually,
Well, here, put one right here, just for good luck.
and I'll go.
Oh, thank you. Oni, you don't have to tip me. I'll wait on you for free once I'm up and out.
Then when that happens, yes.
Okay.
Right now we need to Errol and Flynn need to be looked after, if you remember.
Right. You have to go see my mama.
Go to sleep now.
Okay, you just tell my mama I'm okay. She'll be fretting, you know. She doesn't need to lose me too. She already lost one.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Okay. Tell her other girl didn't die already.
Okay. I'll let Dr. Addis pass the news on.
Okay. She's gonna
Addison?
worry.
Addison?
Dr. Addis.
Addis.
Yeah.
Like
What
Addis
does-
Ababa.
Oni helps him, get Errol and Flynn and
Well, there's the two others that are there
right.
as well.
Does Oni help Dr. Addis in the surgical suite, or does he leave?
Does he need the help with the role?
No, it's sure. Like if you're gonna stay, you're gonna make a roll.
I'll make the so I risk the stress. In other words.
Right. I need some help. He looks at you. Saving Lila was hard enough.
I will only assist though. Why I don't want. Okay.
All right. Make
Question,
two.
game mechanic question. Game mechanic question. So even when we succeed, the stress doesn't go down. It only goes up, right? Until we.
It goes up when you fail, and
yes,
then
yes, I know that.
it goes down when you rest or
Okay.
have a smoke, have a drink. Like Basilio, if he has any stress, he's already drinking a couple of times. Like that relieves stress for Basilio. So does cigarettes, and hooch. Dr. Addis's blue and red leaf relieve stress with some degree of addiction, or you rest, like
Yeah.
rest period time.
So at what point then does the stress start affecting your rolls?
Whenever I have you make a stress roll, when I think it's relatively necessary. I haven't had that done because you all yourself aren't in danger, and so having you roll a stress roll and have some wound related to stress hasn't really seemed reasonable.
There were the 6 guys with the guns in the
Sure.
with the grenade. That could have been a stress roll.
I have to remember to like add stress, make you make a stress roll more often to see what happens.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to bring that up. But
So
anyway.
make 2 surgery rolls, or see if Errol and Flynn survive.
Okay, so intellect. Okay, so at least he's there and he's familiar with this equipment. Do I get an advantage at least?
No, we're just gonna see if Errol and Flynn lives.
Oh, come on, give me. Okay, so I mean, there's 2 of us. Though,
Okay, so here's the question.
Yes.
You can have advantage on one of them. Errol or Flynn.
What if you made him? What if you made him make a stress roll to see if he freaked out while he's trying to do what he's trying to help?
Well,
yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, they're both pretty critical, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Advantage on one then. And I need to say that right away. So let's do Errol advantage first.
Okay. Yeah, he's much stabler. Oh my god.
That's
all your
horrible.
rolls went to crud.
Yeah.
What did you actually roll? 95 and a 91.
I'm telling you, the random number generator here is not very good.
I
very
think
random.
Oni, you go back to pick up. You said Errol, right?
Yep.
You go back to pick up Errol, and
Poor
you
Errol.
realize, like, he's not moving and not breathing, and you bend down and pick his pulse, and you're like, damn, just took too long. Roy looks at you and goes, what's wrong? Is Errol dead? We carried him all this way. We could have
Perhaps
just put him to the airlock. Would have been much easier. He's heavy.
such is life. Let's work on Flynn now.
Okay, I'll help you. What should I do? I'll help you get him to the table. All right, good luck.
Thanks.
Oh,
Well,
Oni,
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
2 out of 3. Dr. Addis is working with you, and it's too bad Arrow lost, but at least Lila is alive, and Flynn. Harm and Max, you walk down the corridor. Harm is supporting Max partway, and he's leaking a little bit of fluid, but not a lot. The graft is working fine. You go past the T intersection to the Alpha and Omega Church, and you see this kind of makeshift archway on the outside that's made with a large black rope that's just making it in. And you walk through the front door and you see this pitch black drapery and rows of chairs. And then at the front, you see a pulpit that's emblazoned with the Alpha and Omega symbol. And you see this obvious android in white robes is talking to what looks like a couple acolytes or something. They're dressed in the same way, and he's making movements, and he looks up and he sees you, and he waves a little bit, and then he finishes his discussion, and they go sit in their chairs, and he comes up and says, come. Thank you for waiting. Are you ready to begin your journey to the oneness, the Alpha and Omega? Are you ready to join us androids and humans? It is always a good time to start. Please come. Are you ready? What is your name, good sir? He says, looking at Harm.
I am Harm.
Harm. He looks at. And you are Max?
Yes, I am Max.
Oh, well. They are waiting. Come, follow me. It is good you are here. They thought you would be longer. Come through the church. Come. May Alpha Omega bless you and the oneness be with you. Come. Quickly now, quickly.
Who thought?
What? Come on, let's go. And you see him move really quickly. He's obviously an android. Maybe a much older model than you are, Max. And he weaves his way around these draperies, black draperies, and around the pulpit. And he looks back and he's moving really fast. And then he moves the draperies apart and he goes back into another room. You follow him back and you see a short hallway and you enter this small little room like a sacristy. And there's benches. And up at the front bench, you see a beaten up, bludgeoned Hyperspace Raider in their red armor and helmet. They are waiting for you. Come now, Android, Max, and Harm.
Max is gonna kind of look at Harm. I don't trust this.
Yeah, I don't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole. This is weird.
Max will kind of. Is he sitting down or standing?
The Hyperspace Raider is sitting. You can hear
He's
it.
sitting in one of the benches.
Yeah, the front bench. You could hear it breathe from here. Father Cambrian says, Max, I don't know how long it has, but it's been waiting here for you for 3 days.
Max will kind of walk down the aisle a little bit, and then the bench right behind him, Max will kind of squeeze and walk down the aisle on that bench and sit right behind the Raider.
Okay. Harm, what do you do?
I'll probably go and sit maybe 1 or 2 rows back from where Max is in
Okay.
case something goes wrong, so I can shoot at the raider in case I need to without like hurting Max.
So Max, you go sit behind the Hyperspace Raider, and Harm's a few steps back, few benches back, and Father Cambrian, walks up and kind of looks at Harm and has this, crinkled brow. Harm, you're sitting so far back. Why?
Am I supposed to be sitting up with Max then?
No, but it is waiting for you. Looks back and he looks at Harm and shakes his head and bends down over to Hyperspace Raider and says, "He is here. You have waited for him." And you hear this voice, this metallic voice goes, "Father Cambrian, I don't have much longer. Please begin Psalm 111. And he looks back and he goes, "Psalm 111? He goes, "Yes, where are they?" "Well, Max is sitting right behind you." "Right then. Please begin Psalm 111. Father Camera goes, "Oh, okay. If you believe it is time, then I will start the chanting." And Father Cameron backs up and puts his hand down, and his head goes down, and his eyes are just wide open, and he starts this droning kind of chant of Psalm 111 of Alpha Omega. And the head swivels back and kind of trying to see Max and says, "Max, it is good to see you again. Will you
Yes.
take off my helmet? I do not wish to die in it."
Yes, I will help you. And Max reaches over the bench and grabs it and slowly pulls it off.
You put your hands under and you feel the latch so that the helmet can pop up, and it reaches up and grabs your wrist. "Is your promise still good?
Promise of what?
It has been a long time since we've seen each other. Are you here alone?"
No, I have one of my crewmates with me.
"Oh, which one is it? Harm?
It is, yes.
Oni?
It's Harm.
I never liked that Basilio."
It's me and Harm. Oni is assisting Dr. Addis.
The hand kind of drops back and you pull the red helmet off. It gets stuck a little bit on the rim and you got to jiggle it, catch your chin off, and you pull it off, and this gray long hair with just a hint of red or auburn. And she looks up at you, and half her face is kind of scarred and her eye is white, and she has this deep blue eye. "It is good to see you, Max. It has been a long time for me." And you're looking down at her, Max, and it's just this ancient face, a face so old you haven't seen a human look that old, but you're damn well sure that it looks like Jessica Elizabeth.
Jessica. What?
"I have found him, Max. Is your promise still good to do all you will?
Of course.
Roscoe needs you. I don't have much longer. Time flies and moves differently in this space. We had some good times, though. That raid on the Olympic Mount."
How did you... But when I saw you, you were much younger. That was only 2 or 3 weeks ago. How did you...
Weeks for you. Time is a strange thing in hyperspace. Back and forward and left. My mother and I, we made the plan. Didn't work out the way we want. You still have her? What's left of her?
I do, yes. She is still in the cryo chamber.
I'm dying. Will you tell her I'm sorry?
Would you like to see her?
I will not make it from this pew. You see this little red light start blinking on her shoulders. "Where's Harm? I can't see him. I'd like to see him. He's prettier than you are."
Am I close enough to hear her ask about me?
Sure, you're only 2 pews back, Harm. You see her too. You see her voice is loud and raspy. She's trying to catch her breath. Her breathing just rocks her back and forth in the pew. Father Ambien's got this droning chant of Psalm 1:1 and doesn't break off cycle. You can hear everything they're saying. It's quiet. You're the only 3 besides Father Cambrian in the sacristy.
Okay, so I'll get up off the pew, kind of go around the front, and kneel in front of her. And
She
be
looks
like,
at you, goes,
here.
"Ah, looks like I won the bet."
well, I guess I'll figure out what that bet is soon enough. It's nice to see you again.
Ah, you too, Harm. You always warned me right in certain places. My mother and I, we came up with a plan. Roscoe was always between us. He looks at Harm. She looks at Harm, and you probably understand this. Not that Max might, but teenage daughters and their mothers, things get ugly. Was that the way it was with your father, Harm?
It was. I had to not get into fights, but I had to protect my brother from him quite often.
Oh, right. Did you find him yet? Oh, no, it's only been a couple weeks. Right.
What happens if you die? We have nothing between us and the Brotherhood of the Void?
She looks at you and she has this quirky little smile on her face, Mac, and she goes, "Well, when's the last time you saw me?"
Like I said, we've been very, very busy and had a lot of problems on our own. But it had to have been, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Her head kind of lolls back and her eyes go back in the back of her head for a minute, Max, and she stops breathing. It's probably a minute or two, and you think, she must be dead. And her eyes come back and she goes, "Time is a weird thing. Max, go to the spire and rescue Roscoe. He was what bound us together, my mother and I. And the plan didn't work out to rescue him, but you can do it for us. You promised. I gotta go now." And she's moving her mouth a little bit, but no words are coming out, Max. And she reaches up and tries to grab you weakly and pulls you towards her. What does Max do?
He'll lean in.
"Max, if you find my brother, tell him I love him. His name is Timothy."
Of course, I've managed to keep one promise, and I will do my best to keep this one.
Her head kind of lolls back, and Father Cambrian's chant ends. He just breaks his eyes, and he looks and goes, "Oh dear, she has gone to the oneness. We must prepare her body." "Well, what did she say?"
Nothing.
"She was here for 3 days waiting for you. Just showed up all of a sudden. Just materialized right there in the sacristy."
Harm, I don't think I'm going to do the system reboot.
Well, okay then. She will rest well then.
"Do you want to help me prepare her body? What should I do with her armor? She didn't want to be buried with it. She said she never liked it."
Harm, that's, she doesn't want the armor. Considering I guess we're going to have to go break into the spire, whatever it is, maybe you should take it.
Okay. Oh shit, I don't have my backpack. So I don't know how I'm gonna carry this.
In pieces. A little gurney.
I guess we'll take it off her, but I don't know how to transport it to where we need to get it to go.
I'm sure you figure it out, get it to the ship somehow. Do you stay with Father Cambrian and prepare Jessica Elizabeth's body? Her ancient.
I will.
She did threaten to decompress the ship with everybody in it. So I don't know how cool we were, or I was.
Yeah, you get a sense that when she's talking to you, there's this familiarity that you have no idea where that's from.
Yeah.
Especially when she says she hasn't seen you, right? Almost, you spent time with her, Harm, Max.
I think Max will go back to, while Harm's doing that, Max is going to go back to Dr. Addis's.
Okay. Basilio, you make a fresh getaway, and you're probably walking through the distillery, and one of Jerth's foremen comes up to you, a foreman named Elon, and he goes, "Basilio, Bass, hey, boss man Jerth wants to see you. Where you been? We had this stupid drill. We had to go down and suck out drains, and God, Sierra's I hate that woman. Why weren't you there? You skate out again. Maybe that's why Jerth wants to see you."
Skate? Look at me. And he just kind of points to his robes and all
He
the
looks at you and goes, "Looks like
I've
you've
been
been
working."
drinking and fell down a hole."
Well, that too. But never mind that.
Well,
Boss doesn't need to know.
He wants to see you right now. I'm supposed to take you to him. You don't get the change.
Nothing to change into.
All right, then. Come on. You follow Elon to Jer's. It's not a stateroom. It's like, where he has this big desk that he plans the engineering and manages the Teamsters. Jer is this old, wide, muscled, like iron Teamster. He's, this legendary union organizer and father figure for everyone on the station. He's brutally pragmatic in emergencies, whether it's fire, pressure leaks, whatever. He's one of those things that just stands there as a pillar of solid, calmness, even in the most disastrous, airlock leaks. He's just kind of hanging out there, shouting orders, regardless of the oxygen tension going down. And he has this oddly jovial, warm voice, despite this impressive nature that all the Teamsters look up to him. And Elon, grabs you by the arm, elbow, and kind of pushes you in. He goes, "Here he is, Jerth the miscreant. Look at him. He wasn't even at the drill." Jerth looks at him and goes, "What drill?" And Elon goes, "The drill Cyril had. Go away, Elon." And he looks up at you, Bass, and he goes, "Basilio Santos, you look like you're in a state. You've been drinking again. You know what your mother would say. And then she's going to come down on me that I got to bring her wayward son into the line. Yeah, take a seat. You look terrible."
What's his name? Gerald?
Jerth.
Jerd?
Uh-huh.
Sure. All these characters. Jerd.
Jerf. Jerth. Jerth. He looks at you. He's got these huge hands, this big thing, and
Okay.
His chair's too short though, so his desk looks like it rides high, which is hilarious.
Yeah. So this is the boss man. It's like a stateroom.
Yeah, it's like his office, really down in engineering.
So if he knows my mother, then I will say he also knows that Bass is a non-apologetic alcoholic. And I think after being tossed into his stateroom, like unceremoniously, I think his eyes would dart to his liquor cabinet, and he would kind of just like mosey on the way over there, and pour himself a drink and him as well, and kind of like bring it to the desk.
Yeah,
And, like,
he
everyone-
watches you with this humorous look on his face. You pull out this decanter and take off the top and pull this cool liquid
So-
in there and walk
He-
over
he'll-
there.
Yeah. So he'll like with the drinks and stuff like that, with that threat of he's gonna tell my mother on me. I'm like, go right ahead. Take a sip.
You take a big swig, and it's the most pristine cold water you've ever had.
I
And
spit it out.
Church
What
just
did
looks at you.
When
and
did you
sips on
go
the
cold
water.
turkey on me, Jared?
I haven't drank in years. Look at me. Look at me. But look. So listen, Basilio. Tesura says that you're a fine, upstanding Teamster. And you know what? Tesura doesn't say anyone's a fine Teamster. I don't know why
He'll
she's
kind of
saying
just
that.
like take that compliment and like lean back and like open chest with that big gold chain. Head motherfucker in charge.
He just kind of shakes his head and he goes, "But you owe a lot of people money, Basilio. And Tesura says you're the man for the job." I don't know. I tried to argue, but she came in here just touting your praises for something, and I tried to ask her what was going on, but why is she all suddenly on your side?
Because I get the job done, Jared. You know this.
Oh,
And
well,
that money that you heard, money goes around. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some, but it just goes around. We're all family.
So you're a man who gets the job done. Any job, especially for Teamsters. For family.
That's right.
All right. Well, I tell you what, this job, we will wipe out your debt. Put you back on zero.
That's mighty generous of you. He like takes a puff of his cigarette.
And he takes a work card, like a little punch ticket, and he slides it across. This is what we want you to do, Basilio. This new ship, they don't have a Teamster. They're You know, the ones that saved Quandra. We need some eyes. We need some eyes and maybe some direction, and they need a teamster. They're probably gonna maybe do some jobs. Who knows? We just want them on the right side. We want a man in place on their ship.
You want me to leave my home?
Oh, it's temporary. Everyone's got to leave now and then. Can't stay here forever. You never know when the virus bomb's going to go off. And your mother's on me to try to find you a place somewhere else. In and out, in and out. You know, maybe you find a nice family, girl, and have some kids.
That is not even on my mind right now. The only thing that I can think about is where my next when's my next break to do. And he
Well-
kind of picks up the water and kind of pours it out onto the floor. Something better than this.
But we're good then. You're going to be maybe try to find a job on this new ship, the Vicious Gambit, as your teamster. They got a lot of work to gun. That's what Bosco says. More work than he can do. Maybe you can side in there with them. Join their crew. Make sure they take on the right kind of jobs.
Yeah, well, you know I can't do this job dry. You gotta give me something that I could keep my hopes up.
He looks over at his stock and he goes, "You can have whatever I got."
No, I'm thinking that's something that I can make myself. Maybe of a distillery of some sort.
You want to make your own hooch on the Bishop's Gambit.
How else am I gonna stay
Well,
lubricated?
you're an enterprising young man. I'm sure you'll figure it out. But see if you can wheedle your way in first.
Takes like a deep breath. Fine. If it's what mom wants, I guess.
All right. They probably have a few days here, but Bosco will vouch for you. Maybe do some work on their ship. See if they need an extra crew member. Show them that you're reasonably talented. Bosco says that ship's like falling apart, and its AI is. He's never seen one like it.
You don't need no AI to fix a ship. All you need is this right here. And he just points at himself.
He looks over. He goes, "Right. I should be wearing that patch, but nonetheless, it was good to see you, Basilio. Try to stay a little bit dry. And what did you actually do for Sura? You pay her off or something? You owe her something? She owe you for some reason?"
Why you gotta go and ask something personal like that?
He snorts. "You're not
And he
Sura's
like gives him a
type.
wink.
All right then. Next time I want to see you or know of you is when I get a ticket that you're a teamster on the Bishop's Gambit. Make it happen. Steer them in the right direction. Don't be stupid. And don't get yourself killed. Your mother will. You know what your mother will do."
Yeah, unfortunately I do. I appreciate this. And you know
Okay.
what? I'll leave this for you. And he'll like take off one of his beers. You know, every once in a while is all right. It'll be our secret.
So, Basilio, he lets you free out of his office. For whatever reason, the Teamsters need a Teamster on board the Bishop's Gambit. They expect that perhaps they're going to do some work and maybe have jobs offered to them that Basilio may help steer them in a particular direction for the revolution and Teamster outlook, as opposed to other things. And as a true born in Siesta 3, part anarchist against the corporation, he offers that job to you and to wipe your debt. What does Basilio do after he leaves the office?
I think Basilio would go to a bar.
Back
Probably
to the
go back to
distillery?
the distillery
Okay.
and find out where this crew is, in addition to the added bonus of drinking a few.
Yeah, I think Basilio would know, he stayed at the party a little bit. Small amount. He partied with the Siesta 3 at the Rosengenizdat bar, which isn't really his bar, but, it's free drinks. And he probably knows of them and has heard their names, Harm and Max, and points them out when they were there. He probably hears about Oni in some degree, one way or another, but he learns of them because he was on the other side of them with the weapon anyways. So at some point, he probably mingle with Max and Harm. Well, not Max, but maybe
Yeah.
Oni, after you help Dr. Addis and unfortunately lose Errol but save Flynn, give Lila a small kiss on the forehead. What does Oni do?
Hang on a second. Where did my character sheet go?
You don't
Oh,
see it?
here. I got it. Well, is Dr. Addison, I imagine he's probably looking to relieve some stress.
Yeah, he's laid back and he goes, "Whew, being a doctor is hard work. Don't you agree, Oni? Some days I just want to be in my shop and make growing things. There's no blood anywhere. Like the surgery suite did everything all by itself." He's laid back in this chair and he goes, "This place is so white, sterile, somewhat depressing. Maybe we should go to the Hydra Hut."
I was just going to say, let's go to the front room where everything's a little more green.
All right.
Oh, Dr. Addis, I am a botanist as well. And not that I am, but I'll start to mention a few different, growing tips or what have you, botany talks, shall we say.
Sure.
Perhaps create a rapport with Dr. Addis while we both partake in some of his product.
Right. So he immediately perks up. "Really? Have you grown your own stuff from scratch? Just from cell culture? Mixing genetics and capsids and, have you cross-referenced? I mean, look at this one. This is blue leaf. This one's red vein. This is Kleck." And then he pulls out this little thing. Look at, this is Eigengrau. That's what I accidentally gave Max. It knocks you out, really.
It even affects androids.
Yeah, I didn't know if it would work, but it's all in the genetics.
I suppose so. Well, my specialty on our pilgrim ship was growing food. So potatoes mostly, corn and rice, and beans and squash.
He tokes up. "You can eat this too. It makes a pretty good salad if you're,
Do you have edibles?"
Right. Everything is edible. He waves his hand, and then he gets this little container and he pops the top off, and this little powdery brownness, and he goes, "Here, tell me what you think that is. Make your best guess."
And I'll do the biochemical. You sort of waft it up into your nose, and what is it?
Make a botany check.
Oh, make a botany check. Okay, sure.
He looks at you and goes, "I'm just testing you. Just see if you know your business."
So intellect, botany.
Right.
Can I throw in some mysticism too?
I think you can only choose one.
Yeah, I know. I'm just having fun. 84. I fail. I say no. I'm not. Oh, and I got more stress for that. Come on. I shouldn't get stressed for that.
You're wafted it in. Yeah, maybe you could roll a stress roll. You got this smoke going on, and I don't know if it has.
So I roll to remove stress. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you do roll if you're smoking. Are you smoking with Dr. Addis?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I asked for edibles though, rather than Oni wouldn't really be.
He's probably giving you some of those.
Yeah.
So I would roll you roll a it would probably be, or make it sanity. Roll a sanity check because it starts to
roll sanity to lower.
Yeah. So what you do is you roll one of your checks, sanity to your body. It's typically sanity to your body,
Sure.
And then if you make it, you decrease your stress by the 1s mark. Oh,
No.
You're terrible.
And it raised my stress again.
You can put it back down. You can put it back down to 17. How does he fail?
He must get the heebie-jeebies, I guess. It probably creates a little bit of anxiety in him.
Yeah, it probably starts to rev you up, and you start sniffing this brown powder, and it smells weedy, a little bit weedy, a little bit by cinnamon. But then Dr. Addis looks at you really close and says, Oni, your pupils are a little bit, here, come here. Your pupils are a little bit constricted. Sit down, sit down, sit down. There you go. Easy, easy. Here, give me the blue joint. There you go. Deep breaths now. Deep breaths, Tony.
Talk me down. Talk me down.
In for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Out for 4 seconds. Hold for a second. Okay.
Take your bag.
You're good? You're good? Okay. Could you tell me what it was? Oh no, probably not. Probably not. This is wheatstone. It's my own. It's my own. You take a little pinch of it right underneath your gum line, and your intellect is just on par for somewhere between 2 and 10 hours. But then it's a pretty hard fall where you're pretty dumb for another 10 hours, 2 to 10 hours afterwards. But for those 10 hours afterwards, wow, you can get a lot of things done. Trust me.
So it's a stimulant.
Yeah, so wheatstone, when you use it, it gives you advantage on all intellect checks for 1 to D10 hours. But then afterwards, it's followed by 2 to 10 hours of disadvantage.
So hopefully you can time it that you can rest.
It's almost like Basilio drinking. He gets advantage on certain skills after a while, and then he starts to taper off.
So Dr. Addis, would you have? How do you recommend? You said just a tiny bit. Do you have this in something that travels?
Oh, sure.
Would you be willing to share?
He rummages around in a drawer, and he gets one of those little thin, like Ziploc bags that are only like this wide. He opens it up and he goes, 10 grams? 15? Yeah, let's just do a teaspoon. Pops it in there, seals it shut. Now look, only use it when you really need it. Trust me, don't use it too much.
What would happen should somebody take too much of it?
You drool a lot.
Okay.
And you babble a lit. And then you sleep for a really long time.
Okay. So it's quite literally, you said it's a sort of a
like snuff. Yeah, like snuff.
What am I trying to think? The
tobacco pinch.
Yeah, no, but you put it on mucous membranes. Yeah, on
right.
Yeah,
under your tongue, on your ridge.
Yeah,
but use it carefully.
I will. So items. What do I call it? I can add an item.
Whetstone.
Whetstone.
Yeah, Whetstone. It gives you advantage on intellect checks for 1d10 hours, and then afterwards disadvantage for 2d10 hours.
Oh, edit. Got it. Like whetstone, like sharpening a knife. I just got that. Intel check advantage 1 to 10 hours, 1d10, and this for 2d10, right?
So the camera kind of pans around. There's this haze of smoke. Oni's sitting in this stool. Dr. Addis is sitting across him in this beaten down like lounger with his foot up. There's green all over the place, and this haze of smoke as they sit there and kibitz about botany. Harm is helping Father Cambrian take Jessica Elizabeth out of her hyperspace armor. It just kind of comes off in these little and she's this old but muscular woman underneath. Harm finds, many scars and laser shots, and she's been in many battles, Harm can tell, and she's old. Father Cambrian kind of looks at her and goes, she's probably 105 if she's a day. And they kind of wrap her body in this black kind of gauzy covering to prepare her for the oneness and Alpha Omega. And down in the bar and distillery, Basilio is drinking it up before he attempts to join the crew of the Bishop Gambit per his Teamster leader, Jer's request. And we'll end it there for today. Hopefully you had fun.
All right.
Of course.
Yeah, had a lot of fun.
Any question or comments for me?
I
I
was
was-
expecting the bomb to blow up. I was actually surprised when it actually went in our favor.
Yeah, you guys had some good rolls. Oni had some really good rolls for a while. You had some good rolls too. I thought it was fun when you failed your discrete roll or trying to get through the thing.
Yeah.
I had fun.
I don't
Roll-
think I made a
roll
roll
playing.
once this session.
Yeah, it's I getting everyone together when they're split. I didn't really have a lot for harm to roll necessarily. It was more role play.
Yeah.